Christmas sweaters
Or shirts,
yeah.
either way.
Shirts, Christmas attire, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We have a lot going on.
A lot.
Yeah, we do. So I don't know why, but it was actually the most suggested question to talk about what we would give the heroes of Bingle for Christmas.
Yep.
So Renee and I got together, we brainstormed, and we found the perfect gift to give all of them. So we're gonna go and give them their gifts, quote unquote. Yeah. We also have maybe a cute little song to holiday cheer to show at the end of this video.
Maybe.
Possible. On top of that, we have the amazing Fenway Jones joining us today, who is going to, not only is she the founder, one of the founders for the Jasper's Games charity, but she is going to be DMing Morgan and Ron's charity stream in January, and that's super exciting, and we're going to get into that.
She's
and on
fabulous.
top of that, yeah. And on top of that, we're going to talk about potentially ways that you guys can bring some holiday cheers and help donate to the charity a little bit later today. So lots of going on. I absolutely love Renee that the snow is like falling.
Oh, I thought you were like, I love Renee. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. Thanks. And you, Eric, yes, they are. They are love languages.
Our gifts, your
yes,
love languages.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna say sure for the
They're
holiday.
They're mine, 100%.
Of course. For Renee's, I actually think that is one of her top love languages for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but first, we're gonna recap the second to last episode of the dungeon run this year. This year, and I'll start this time.
Do it.
I'll start this time. It was one of the more interesting battles we've had in a while, and when I say interesting, I mean like there was a lot going on, but I think in a good way. I think it was. I can't praise Jeff enough for his awesome chicken head dance. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was funny. I love how JLP and Behemoth and Ugo kind of worked together to like do the whole mammoth thing. There was a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of chaos. Overall, I thought it was a really fun battle to watch. And on top of that, Jeff actually fooling us.
Oh man.
Renee and I did freak out when
yes.
There's a little, but we'll talk about that. Overall, it was a very lighthearted but enjoyable episode, and I give it a solid 6 malls out of 10. Very enjoyable to watch, I thought. Take it away, Renee.
Yeah, I would agree that there was a lot going on in the battle, a lot of moving pieces, if you will. A lot of puns also going on. And I would agree. I thought the compass rose was fun. It was a fun little quirk in there. A lot of things to talk about with that battle in particular. If you want to talk about it now, you want to start right now?
Dive in, go.
Great, let's go. So that Snacken, Serpican, whatever we're calling it, was fabulous, I thought. I enjoyed particularly when it was pointed out that the egg was not coming out the top half, and so certainly the good old map room turned that guy right around and bloopsie-doodle. And so I thought that was genius. It was just so fun. It got me. When you said lighthearted, I mean, it really was, but it was serious. It was a serious thing. I thought those little demonic buddies were terrible, that they could just teleport around like that. I mean, that was potentially just awful. I thought they handled it well, really. those poor Chirai have been through some things. So that was also terrible. I loved that Fahima did her thing with the chicken body. Super gross. But also, I love that she actually had the thought to actually do that. I mean, I really like that.
Their faces when JLP was
Yes.
I loved how it was very almost cinematic. Like the
Yeah.
fact that she was like, Lily, just hold me,
Just
trust
hold
me.
on to me. Yeah.
And she was like, okay. And then
Never let go, Lily. Never let go.
Yeah, and then she just faints.
Bloop.
And I was just like, from Lily's perspective, that obviously must have been like,
terrifying, right? Yeah, I was putting myself in Lily's position too, because she's little and Fahima's probably way taller, and so you know, like she was probably freaking out a little bit, like, what's happening, you know? But yeah, it was brilliant though. It was a brilliant move. Super brilliant.
Yeah, and it was. I loved it. I loved the cast's reaction when she used it, and it finally revealed what she was doing.
Yeah, and I love
absolutely loved it.
She was like, Jeff, and he was like, his little boy smile was like, yes.
Yeah.
You know, and then she was like, I'm gonna do this thing, and he was like, I love it, you know. And then when she realized, you know, it didn't have eyes, so she couldn't see, but I like that she eventually just laid that sucker on down. You know, it was brilliant. It was a brilliant move, I thought. You know, trying to trample essentially, but then when she realized it didn't have eyes, I thought it was really good to just lay it down and not cause any harm to anybody else. It was great move, I thought.
I loved how she kind of kept forgetting. Again, I think it really went well with in my thoughts, the lighthearted tone of the episode. She was like, and then I want to do. Dang it! I don't have a head.
I don't have any eyes. Can I investigate?
And I just want to see. I can't do that.
No, yeah, it was great. It was great. It was great. It was perfect. Yeah. So then she was just like, fine, I give up. I lay down. I'm gonna lay it down. Whatever.
But it was a good
but yeah, and then it was just kind of like this weird. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say strategic wise, it was also a really good move to decrease the odds of damaging the party, right? Like you know, you've got this chicken who's dead. Like it was dead, they can't do anything, and the fact that it would have did its stomp action every time they acted, like it was just so smart. Like it was an all around brilliant. It was
brilliant.
Brilliant timing, brilliant move. I agree. I thought it was really awesome.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it was really great. I thought it was a really, really, really smart move, and it was a really good time because just previous she was like, you know, talking to Lily about how she didn't want to talk about that. You know, it's not something that's gonna, you know, damage anybody or anything, but she just wasn't ready to talk about that. And then here she is, and she's like, well, you know, here's my opportunity, I guess, you know, I guess we're gonna have to talk about it. And then they kind of talk about it, but then it's still kind of this elephant in the room a little bit, right? Because they're not like, they're kind of like, hey, we need to have this, you know, discussion, but they don't really like fully dive into it because, you know, they have more pressing matters really. So they kind of skim it a little bit. I feel like there's, you know, Ugo probably, it doesn't sit well with him, you know, he kind of gives off that vibe a little bit, but you know, it's still not like this. So you can go into creatures, you know, like, so what's going on with that? You know, they don't really have that
talk,
that chatsy doodle, you know, that's not like they have other things to talk about, but you know, it's not like a, hey, how was your day? So you inhabited that chicken, let's up, you know, like what's going on, you know?
Yeah, but we know our heroes though. Like,
I know, but
have
you know,
that conversation in 10 episodes from now.
Oh, I know, but it's like, you know, it's kind of a big deal, and you know, you might want to, because James's face again, Morgan is really telling, and so the minute she did that, he was like, "Whoa, oh," you know, like he was like all over it, and he was like so expressive, like, holy crap, holy cow, you can do that, you know. So I was like, I couldn't wait to hear what James is going to say about that, you know. So then, you know, that fight happens, and you know, they're triumphant, and everything's great, and they bring this non-demonic giant chicken back to Frophy's house, and when they walk in and Jeff's like, you see Zanoka sitting at the table alone with blood on the face, I immediately stop breathing, and I think, oh no, because I literally we just had this talk about, Jeff, if you kill this man,
Well, it wasn't even that. I mean, you and I sat there for 20 minutes.
Well, that too, yeah. And I was
Why
like,
would
no,
you
there's
guys
no
be
way.
afraid to
Yeah,
leave them
yeah.
there?
And
Come
yeah,
on,
we're
guys.
totally defending Zanoka and like all this stuff. And
It's
then,
fine.
yeah, and
Jeff wouldn't want to hurt anyone. That's besides the point. That's
he's
not
a
the
sweet old
intention.
man. It'll be fine. It'll be
And,
fine,
and
you
that just,
guys. It'll be fine. And then he's like, yeah, she's sitting at the table alone with blood on her face. And I was like, oh man.
not Spencer's boat said, and you thought I was overreacting. You were.
Yeah, clearly, because then he comes out and I was like, oh, he got me. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you were right,
it's all
though.
good. It's all good. It's all good. Fahima's not going to have a cow. It's totally fine. It's fine. But Jeff, you got me, buddy. You got me.
I wasn't even. I'm sad because it's very rare that my not in a cocky way, but sincerely, it's very rare that my predictions are so off. So the fact we spent 20 minutes, that was the first thing in my head. I was like, I just spent 20 minutes defending this. Oh my god, what am I? Ooh, okay, it's not real. It's not
You
like
got
that was
me.
the first thing in my mind. I was like,
I love those moments, though. I love them. And I was like,
it was great.
how could I have not seen this coming? Fahima's going to kill her. They're going to hunt her down and they're going to kill her. And then I was like, oh, okay, good. Okay, good. We're fine.
Well, remember, Civ too was like, I'm waiting for the moment.
Oh, I know. We had that talk too. Like, we're waiting for Civ for her to mess up. And so I was like, great. This is it. This is the moment. You know, like, great, whatever. You know, I don't even care about being wrong. I'm wrong a lot. But then, you know, that's it. She's a goner. That's it. Behemoth's going to be mad. Civ's going to stab her. That's it. That's it. That's a man.
Yeah, but what I thought was the most shocking part for me in the episode was the fact that, and maybe I was reading, I don't know. I thought it was very strange how on their way back after the battle, when they were thinking, even before they saw how well Zanelka and Frofi were getting along, they were sitting there like, okay, let's try to convince her to stay, but how do we make it her idea? And it was that whole conversation to me felt a little not right. Like, why are they trying to go out of their way to be manipulative? It came off very manipulative to me. Like, this is what we want to happen. Let's convince her it's her idea. Let's do this whole thing. And I'm sitting there like, you could just ask her what she wants. Like,
I don't know.
Even when Civ straight up was just like, let's just kidnap Frofi and go. It was just like, oh my god. Like, it was just weird. It was almost like they were, I don't know, they weren't giving people like a sense of agency to make their own decisions almost. I thought it was weird a little bit. Fishy.
You know, I mean, I think Sanoka like already feels like a lot of things are not her decisions. So like, I don't know. She would have obviously wanted to go with Fahima. You know, like I don't think she would have felt like, you know, I mean, she's gonna want to go with her. I mean, Sanoka obviously loves her. Obviously, she said the L word. She was very, regardless of what I think Fahima's doing. You know, I mean, which you and I have talked about, but we talked about earlier. I think Sanoka already feels like she doesn't really have, you know, I think that she would, I think they did the right thing by her, honestly.
No, that's
she needs a leash. What in the world is happening? But I do think that, you know, I think they handled it for the most part. I think, I don't know about the Fahima bit, because I do think that Fahima loves her, and I just think that it's a little bit more. You and I were talking about this before, and for me, I think that Fahima is trying to protect them both by not saying how she really feels.
Okay, so to context, Renee, she's talking about now the scene where.
Oh yeah. Sorry, skips you to forward. Sorry.
She was saying, I thought this also was super cute. The whole scene when they were like, well, that you guys love each other, and it was almost like everyone else was like, like, and Ugo was just like, I don't understand. My second favorite line from this entire episode was when Ugo was like, you guys have way too much. You live too long. Like, it was just like, you guys are dumb. Like, I loved that. I love that so much. Like, he was being sincere, but like part joking, and he was just like, oh, you guys have too much time on your hands to just avoid stuff and not talk about things. I laughed so hard. I thought that was like super cute.
Also, though, in Orc, where he's from, though, I mean, like they go to war a lot, right? So like, for him too, though, like age is shorter anyway, right? So like they don't live as long, but
Right.
also they go to war, and so they probably die sooner anyway. So I mean, what he's saying is probably also valid, you know, like say how you feel right now, you know. I mean, so that's probably also valid.
And I did think that was super cute. The chess scene, the chat's talking about the chess scene and how he
Oh
was
yeah,
just like, I've never played. Maybe you should move this right here. There you go. Yeah, do that. And
yeah.
it was
Even though I
just
played
so,
all the time with my dad. No, I don't know.
just like perception check. It was just perception, insight check. It was just super, like, almost like it fit with the holidays and just the lightheartedness. And it was almost like I felt a correct in moment appropriate scene to just stop the seriousness, stop the outside stuff, and just have this lighthearted moment where we remind each other kind of like what we're fighting for, what it is to be happy, those just little moments. Because, I've been pretty open about how there are times where I think scenes are okay, I guess the scene was comedic, but I just don't feel that it fit the time or the place. But I
Yeah,
really truly felt that this one was on point. I thought it fit the scene, it fit the tone, it fit the mood, it fit the
yeah.
situation. It was
Well, it's very
beautiful.
familial, you know, for
Yes,
me.
and to go back to what you were originally talking about before you skipsy doodled,
I got
uh,
distracted by the leash comment. Sorry.
totally skipsy doodled. Yeah, and like even when I think it was Civ out of know was like, yeah, no, the L word's top secret word now, and it was just like this big thing. So what Renee was mentioning earlier was the fact that she said she's not really sure that she buys Fahima saying that she doesn't love it, Smelka. That's what you were saying, correct?
Yeah, I don't buy. Well, she said she's not ready. I think, or something along those lines. I think she does love her. I think what I'm thinking is for me anyway, you know, how I feel is because they both have the Ashen Mage, right, manipulated Sanoka once and used her against Fahima already, sort of in a manipulative type fashion. I think Fahima would be very aware of that, and I think also knowing that this is where probably where Zanelka grew up, and kind of hearing about how she grew up and how she was used here, or where they're about to go. I think Fahima also, being more mature now, I think Fahima is very aware of that as well, and I think to protect them both from not being able to be used or manipulated with one another, I think she would maybe keep them.
Maybe my first thought was, oh, how fun to see for whatever reason such a change in attitude because Fahima for how many episodes has just been this love and oh, and if I got a chance and if I had someone that liked me and you should kiss them, have you guys kissed? And my favorite scene like of her innocence was when she was like, have you and Sid kissed? And Lily was like, no. And so innocently, she was like, well, why not? Like, she was just so happy go lucky. And it was almost as if, like, kind of like reality plus, growing up has kind of like hit her. And now she's just like, I'm not ready to go there. And let's take it slow. And like, it's just
I don't know.
involvement.
She literally was just picking like bits of meat and stuff out of her snout, like they were just cuddle puddling, like I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
JLP says in chat, it has to be the real deal for it to be love. Interesting.
That
Yeah,
is
no,
interesting.
I just thought it was, and I think that's kind of where I was going with it. Was I didn't necessarily think in the moment it was about protecting
Right.
them from
Jessica, right.
a literal standpoint. I took it more as like, but yeah, kind of like Fahima was. Oh no! If I commit myself, I'm gonna get hurt. Which, like you said, is a form of protection for sure.
Well, but I mean, because Chef Scott was also bringing up a point too. Like, if the Astro Mage casts Scry, she might choose Sanoka as well, and like that's also
There's a
along the
lot
lines of
going on.
my thinking too. Like Sanoka and Fahima are, obviously they escaped together. Anyway, whatever. That's all neither here nor there. But anyway, I was just saying for me, I felt like to protect each other, like Fahima would keep her at a distance, and at least she would know that she was safe there. You know what I mean? Like she would know she was safe and she was happy there. Anyway,
It
all that
was
to
it
say.
was it was was definitely fun to watch regardless. And I think the fact that we can speculate one way or the other, like the fact it's a topic of speculation, shows, I think, how great that moment was.
Yes.
And the fact that we were both at least on the same page. If it threw us off, like we were like,
yeah, I was surprised for sure.
And I just definitely love, like, I just love seeing Fahima's growth. And,
I love it too.
I mean growth in a literal sense too, right? Like from a 17, 18-year-old innocent girl who's lived in a small town to more just understanding of like the realities of the world. And kind of what JLP was saying in chat, the fact that no. Yeah, sure, love in theory is romanticized, but now that it has to be the real deal now. Oh, no. We're really talking about relationships now. Like, it's like she's going through her own love phases and phases in life. And it's really fun to see it play out on screen.
It's true.
For sure.
Zanelka also was instrumental in this other part that I found rather interesting as well. So the gifties, right? So so Civ gives these little gifts, which at first I was like, oh, well, that's kind of fun, like he knows that that's I know. I just
we're both like
I was like, oh.
So JLP in chat said, I think Fahima's true partner will match her fire, and I don't think Zanelka does. You just broke a lot of hot dog shippers.
I know.
A lot of hot dog shippers. Very interesting.
I know, that is interesting. Right. So the gifties that Civ was handing out, I found cool, and he's like, hey, here's one for you, Jay, and then here's one for you, Ron or Ugo, and they're like, oh, this is cool, whatever. And so like at first I thought they were innocuous. I didn't think anything about them at all. I was just like, yeah, whatever, Civ, we know him by now. He gives gifts as well. And so I didn't think about it, and gives Fahima hers, and then Zanelka's like, hey bro, I recognize these, man. And so then Fahima's like, yeah, hey, what's up with these? And so then we get the true story about them being affiliated. And I thought that was interesting, because I thought, if you know that you're about to go into a town that has specific sections that are, like specific colors.
Gang affiliated.
Right, well, I was getting there, but if I knew that specific colors meant something, and I knew that you might be in harm's way, that I would be like, hey, I did think about you when I saw the color purple, but this color purple might get you stabbed if you go over here, or whatever. I would probably let you know if you meant something to me, like, just heads up, don't go that way because you're going to get shanked, but the fact that he didn't say anything, and it was just like, was odd to me. Like, I'm just gonna not mention.
I agree, but I know, again, we usually talk about stuff after the fact, like before the watch party. But it's funny because even as you said that, this is like, I think for the first time I wasn't so tuned into those things. I was literally just like, and it's so lighthearted. Oh, this is so. Oh, look at that. Because I didn't think that in the moment. Obviously I was in the scene and I'm just like, oh dang, yeah, what do they mean? But I was so like, I thought it was so dang cute. Yeah, like you said, presents. It's true. It was so adorable that they were like, and I got one, and they each like pulled it out. I was so like, again, I love any nod to holidays and traditions and things like that. I'm a sucker for it. So I was just like, oh, he got him scarves. And then when Zanelka was bringing that up, I was like, oh, yeah, what does it mean? But you're right, in terms of Civ, why didn't he share? And what else isn't he sharing?
Right. And she's like, so what does it mean? And he's like, oh, it just means you're, like a thief or whatever. And I'm like, oh, so... So now, are we in danger if we go certain areas? Are we all, because they're different colors, do they all mean different things? Are we part of different groups? Like, what's happening? Like, I don't.
Cam asks, have we considered maybe Jared didn't remember? I'm gonna say false. One, Civ, I'm assuming it's tied heavily to Civ's backstory, but on top of that, have you guys met Jared and how intense and tuned into his character is? He did not forget.
I'm going to defer to his interview episode.
But I know you were trying to defend him, and that's great. But no, Jared knows exactly what he's doing, and that's what I think is so interesting to me. I can't wait to find out
Yeah,
where he's.
that's where. Yeah, I find it
going
interesting
next
too.
with
Not
it.
that it's like, I just find it interesting that it's not even a question anymore. You just get a gift from Civ, and you're like, yay! And it's not till Zenoka's like, hey, bro,
I
I
see
know what
what
this
you're
is.
doing.
I know what this is.
So it's a bittersweet thing.
Yeah,
For me, I think it's a bittersweet thing that they're leaving Zanelka behind. That
yeah,
is what they concluded, correct? Uh,
yeah. I believe
it,
so.
it, it, it it's a bittersweet thing. I was looking forward to her going to Olsblotch. It's a good thing character wise for her not to go. She had no desire to go back
Yeah, I don't know that I
whatsoever.
was, only because of everything that she went through there, and what happens if she goes and somebody's like, oh gosh, like I know you're kind and you're not welcome here, and I just felt like that might have brought more heat down on the whole party itself, and then like her brother will show up, and I don't know, I just felt like that could have been like a whole thing. I was very worried for her in particular.
I was too.
Yeah,
But I felt like I don't know. I think processing the idea of, oh, something's going to go down. I
oh
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
for
it was
sure,
for me. And the
for
fact that they're
sure.
like, psych, she's going to stay here. It was kind
I
of like,
was
oh.
guaranteed something's going down. I was
Yeah,
like
and it was like,
a
oh, okay,
guarantee.
well, oh,
Yeah,
all right. And then, like, we talked about in depth, not on the watch party, but in depth about how, like, they were sending the brother there. I mean, it was just to me mentally. I'm like, okay, something big's coming, and then they're
yeah.
like, yeah, psych, send the brother here. She's gonna stay, and I was like, kind of like a part of me was like, oh, I was ready for some, and then the drama between Civ and Zanelka, right? Like
Yeah,
the
it's right there,
drama
J-Rock.
between.
J-Rock says my gift is right there. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, we were all in the spirit. It's pretty
Oh,
great. But yeah, no, I was ready for some clashing between or understanding between
yeah,
Zelka and Civ. There was just so much there that I was just like,
I
"Eh,"
know, I
so
know,
it's a
I know.
bittersweet thing for me.
True. So then we end on the I think we're gonna get the dream this next time, which I'm super excited about because the dream with Fesh. So that'll be exciting to start with, I guess. I hope we start with it. I don't know, with
So
James and Fesh. But the thing that has been really bugging me is the last bit with Vic this time.
hmm,
I know we talked about it a little bit.
mhm.
I'm just gonna briefly mention it because it's really creeping. It's really creeping me out
Go for it.
that we pull her out again and we cut her hair. And I get like it's a sentimental moment. We're going to bury her, proper burial. I get all that, but we pull her out again. I don't know. It's just like okay, later, Pete. It's just creeped me out. It creeped me out. It had like it reminded me of any show or anything I've seen about like I don't know serial killers and their stuff.
Cam said it was kind of creepy, to be
It was.
honest. I get it, but I liked that moment.
I
Uh,
it was creepy, and I don't know that I liked it. I'm not sure why he would specifically want a lock of her hair now to be on his person. I'm not sure what that's about. I mean, I get the sentiment, and I get why you would want to carry, like you would want something of a person that meant something, um, like that.
I'm
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 just
pretty
unsure.
confident the hair means something that we're gonna see in
Yeah,
Old Splotch. Either she's
yeah,
going to
we talked about that
return,
before. Yeah, and
she's
I
gonna
think it'll.
return the lock to someone.
Yeah,
Something's going down with the hair.
I think so
Uh,
as well. It was just really creepy how that went down, and it made me like I was just really creeped out a little bit, and I was like, ugh.
See, now I know we differed on that. For me, don't get me wrong, if it were me, that wouldn't be happening. So to make that perfectly clear. However, Civ's been through a lot. Civ is no stranger to death or to dead bodies. So it's not like it's me sitting there, carrying and checking on a dead body. I really
Right,
think it was a matter of mourning still. They're on their way now. They're on their way to Old It's coming to the time where she's gonna get buried. He wanted to literally check up on her. Is she okay in the bag? Is her hair all right? Like he loved this woman, and I think it was just
I
him genuinely trying to be like in his
look.
feels. But I
Okay, well
think
he did the super sweet poem. He had his moment, bag of holding he knows has no air in it. Where's she gonna go though? Honestly, like.
No, it was. He's still in the mourning process. He hasn't fully let her go yet, and I think really just as weird as it may come across again in real life.
Yeah.
I think he was just
in
really,
real life. Yeah.
Again, I wouldn't be cradling anything for the record.
Yeah.
But I truly understood it in the moment. I really did. I got it. I felt it. Again, the hair thing I think is to be continued.
Yeah.
But I think he was just trying to be one with his past, with her. He loved her. It's his mourning process, and I didn't think of it as all that weird. But I'm also very much in love with Vic.
Yeah, I mean, I loved her too, and
she can get, I'm down.
Yeah, no, screen time even as a dead wrapped up body.
Mm-hmm.
No, I liked her too, and I was totally down for, and we had this talk too about why they're going there, and specifically to bury her because they didn't really have any other business there, and I'm all for burying her there and keeping the promise. Like, I get it, 100% on board. Bury her in Old Spotch, keeping that promise, got it. I don't know. I just thought, like, in that moment, and it was weird too because he was like, "Oh, like right here at the dinner table, you're gonna pull her out," and I was like, "Don't do that." And then, like, he made it a point to say, like, when they all go to sleep, I'm gonna do it then. And I was like, "Yeah, please don't do that. Don't do that now. That's even weirder. Could you just like Weekend at Bernie's? No, don't do that."
It's beautiful that we see it differently. I think it's I think it's beautiful, and I think it's beautiful. But again, dead body or not, Renee Vic can have all the screen time she wants. But
I liked her too. Don't get me wrong. I liked her too.
I know you did. I know you did. I really did. I know you did.
Yeah.
But with that said, wrapping it up here because you and I have a problem of talking. Final thoughts for this next episode. Go before I bring our guest.
I want to see that dream. I want to get to Old Spotch. I don't want him to get stabbed. Let's do this.
No cowards. Let's do this. Beautiful. I'm still processing what JLP said in chat.
I know.
I'm not sure how I feel about that, and I feel like I'm more team Zanelka than I was 15 minutes ago.
How do you take that?
I don't know, but that's all I can say. I'm processing that. I'm finally ready to go to Old Spotch. I think it has been hyped. I think it has been highlighted enough. I think the excitement for the whole community is real. Yeah. And I'm finally ready to see why does Civ dislike Whitebeard so much. Jared said in his interview that we'll find out why at Old Spotch. And I'm like, all right, if I wasn't already excited, here I'm at. So, yeah, I am. All right, Renee, I will see you in a little bit.
Yes, you will. Hi, Fenway.
Oi. And then now, to bring on the beautiful, the amazing, the talented Fenway Jones.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
You have your good Christmas sweater on. I love it. I'm good. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Thank you again for joining us on this Christmas festive end of the year watch party. As I told you before, I'm a huge fan of your charity. I'm a huge fan of you. I'm a huge fan of what you do. And I really, really am glad you're taking the time to just talk about your charity, talk about what's going on, and just here to kind of spread awareness into something that I know that's really important to both you and I. So I kind of thought you would start from the way beginning and talk about literally how you got into D&D, what age did you get to D&D, and start from way back there.
All right, I can definitely do that. I got into D&D because my dad was actually been playing since he was 15 and with the same group of people. And so when I was 11, he decided that I was old enough and I started playing with them. And so that's kind of how I got into that. I mean, I will say, it was a wild ride, and I got into DMing 2 years later at 13.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been DMing for 4 years.
13. That's amazing. Okay, so I know you did correct me a little while ago. I know that you started Jasper's Game Day at the age of 14. Can you tell us about how that came about and what kind of helps the charity grow into what it is today?
Yeah, so I started Jasper's 3 years ago when I was 14 because I had just lost two of my friends to suicide within the span of a few months. And I really wanted to be able to kind of honor their memory and help people in the same situation. And so Jasper's Game Day, its namesake Jasper was my gaming partner in crime and one of the people who I lost to suicide. And so it's kind of the reason why I started it.
Love that. And then I also was told or looked up and heard that originally it was just supposed to be a 1 day, one event, right? Did I get that correct?
Yes, you did. So originally it was going to be a DM Q&A where Satine Phoenix, my mentor, was going to Zoom chat with the DMs at our local store, and they would pay to be able to get in and have her answer their questions. And then it kind of blew up. And it became the event it was. And then we were told that they were like, you can't stop now. And so 3 years later, we're here.
Oh, that is so great. That is wonderful. And we talked a little bit about like your experience now DMing and how you've been taking on some really big games lately. And we were talking a little bit, but I kind of want you to tell them about how do you feel as a D&D player, as a D&D DM? Like you talked a little bit about how sometimes you get nervous, but like overall, like how has it been for you to kind of string these big names, these big games?
It's been a blast, quite honestly. It's been so much fun to be able to just have those experiences, meet the people, because they're all just so fantastic, so nice, so like excited to be able to help out a great cause, and so it's just been, like I said, a wild ride.
And I know that again, hearing your story, suicide prevention is a really wonderful and needed cause in today's day and age. Suicide rates are higher than they've ever been, at least in the States. I know it's one of the top 10 leading causes of death here, especially in teens. Can you talk a little bit about where the funds from Jasper's Games goes, how it's distributed, like where you think the need is right now?
Absolutely. So we started off just specifically donating to teen suicide prevention and awareness. And so we've kind of progressed. Right now, we donate to teen suicide prevention and awareness, veteran suicide prevention, and the LGBTQ suicide prevention. And we do all of that through the American Association of Suicidology, which is one of our partners, and they kind of distribute all the money.
Oh, that is fun. So I didn't know that. That is super, super, super fun. Okay. So segueing into that to some of your future charity streams, can you tell us a little bit about what you have going on in the future and upcoming?
Yeah, for sure. So January, we have an event coming up where it's the January 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. I will actually be running a game where Morgan Peter Brown and Ron Ogden will be playing in there. And then one of my good friends and the DM for my campaign will be DMing a game for Katie and Jessica. So that's super exciting. And all of the money that we raise through there will be going to AAS.
Love it. And I was wondering if you could give us a little sneak peek about what we can expect from Ron and Morgan's game. You can.
Yeah, so I have not, because I write all my own games. So I have not written the actual game yet. However, you can definitely expect. So for my game, I do a couple of different things donation wise. So there are going to be opportunities to donate for advantage, or as our last stream, we discovered lots of people like to donate for disadvantage against Morgan. Specifically.
We sure do.
And so that will be an option again. And then I will also have the option for wild magic surges. And you'll be able to add a monster of your choice. And then for a higher amount, the ability to add your character in as a cameo. So those are the donation options currently for my game. But I'm sure there will be lots of craziness. I usually do higher level things. Well, like 8 to 10 usually is my range. So.
Okay, that'll be fun. And then just because I find it fun, can you tell them, if you're even going to use them, I don't even know, some of your house rules that you kind of go by?
Oh, sure. So I have 3 house rules that I usually use in my home games. Sometimes I don't use them in the stream games, but for most of my games I use the first one is that healing potions are bonus actions. To take them. And then the second one is if your dice fall on the ground, you then roll your next roll at disadvantage. And I stole that one from Satine Phoenix, and so that's one of my favorites. And then the third is when you crit, you take the full amount of the first dice of damage, and then you roll the dice again.
I love it. Cam in chat said, I would always roll a disadvantage then. You know how clumsy I am? I would too. And I really love, as you guys did find out, well, with this community, yeah, our Force of Evil team is very strong in terms of giving disadvantages and some advantages here and there. But I think it's a really fun way for our community to come and represent, because disadvantage, as you saw, is not a common thing. It's definitely a dungeon run thing, where like disadvantage is like inherently love, and like, you know, it's a team thing. I can pretty much guarantee they're gonna get a lot of disadvantages this time, hopefully.
That's fair.
But I am, as obviously a member of Team Force of Evil, don't go easy on them, Fenway. Don't go easy on them. Make them earn it. And on that note, I kind of want to ask you a little bit about that, like home brewing. Do you, and obviously I would assume you would enjoy home brewing, but how is it for you? Like, what is your style of home brewing? Or can you tell us a little bit about like how your personality and what you think of comes into your games?
So it depends. A lot of my games usually run in either a city that I created in the Faerun area, or a city that was already there that I did a heck of a ton of research on and are able to bend the stories to where I want them to go. However, here and there, I do have games in the world that I created, based on a fairy tale that my dad used to tell me when I was younger.
Fun.
So that's the world that I kind of. It's not like published anywhere. It's just kind of my deal. But that's kind of how I do homebrewing.
That's like the cutest thing I've ever heard. Does your dad also do homebrew stuff in general?
He does sometimes. He prefers to run adventures that were pre-made. However, he always puts his own twists on them.
Okay. So the really taking the imagination homebrew part of it was you on your own, just going to town. I love that. Cam in chat says, I would love to learn more about the world. Are you going to? I know you haven't wrote it yet, but is there a place where we can see your?
Not yet. It's not currently a world that is published or has
That's exciting.
any current plans of publishing. Just because it's something that I've created. It's a dream realm. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, you'll have to keep me updated so I can add everybody then on when we'll get a chance to see it unfold in one of your games, because that's super fun and exciting.
Yeah, usually for big stream games, I write in it. So maybe I'll see if I can put Morgan and Ron in it.
Do it. That's so much fun. So much fun. Okay, so I did kind of want to do some questions to know more about you, but more about your takes on D&D. So I'm gonna, if you want to elaborate, I may ask you to elaborate on some of these, but I'm just gonna fire some questions at you. And if you guys have questions too, feel free to ask. But I'm excited to see some of your answers. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do you prefer to DM or to be a player?
Depends. I prefer to play off stream and DM on stream.
Oh, so play off stream, DM on stream. Ooh, why is that? I'm curious.
Usually because I'm a lot more focused on the camera aspect of it when I'm playing. But when I'm DMing, I'm just kind of, I focus more on the players. And I love seeing the chat and watching my stories unfold on screen.
That's amazing. Okay, so DM homebrews or not homebrews, DM one-shots or DM campaigns?
DM one-shots for sure.
Ooh, what's the ratio? Do you usually do one-shots or have you DM'd like an actual campaign?
I have actually not DM'd an actual campaign. I have created like 2-shots, and like I've created a campaign. It also has not been published, but I have not had the chance to run it.
You're a tease, girl. You're a tease. Okay. Do you want to? Is it one of your goals or desires to run like a long campaign?
Yeah. I mean, I probably would struggle with running a very long campaign because I'm more focused on the actual story aspects of it rather than adding the characters into it. That's just something that I personally have to work on. But I really am looking forward to, because we have plans for me to be able to run a campaign on Gilding Light, which is Satine's channel.
Oh, that's fun. Okay. Dig it. Okay. I know in one of your stream videos you were saying how in one game you've got like the record for you has been 13 nat 20s in one game. Is that still true?
That is still the record, yes.
Okay. So my question is, I'm wondering, being into D&D as long as you have, and you're still going, right? You're still excelling and doing amazing things. Do you have any personal either records you want to break or goals you hope to achieve, little or big, personal or not? Like, do you have any of those?
So one that I'm not sure when or if I will achieve it, I would really like to become a DM for D&D in a castle. That's like a long-standing, far out there goal. But that's other than that, not particularly. I have like goals for the charity, just kind of getting us further out there, getting us into other countries, that sort of thing. But I don't have any personal goals, I don't think.
No, like total kill. No, to kill all your players. No.
I have done that before. I have done.
Oh, you have?
Yes. I
love it.
Before I started streaming most of my games, I was actually quite known for being a brutal DM and killing at least usually a player per game. So, but I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, you know, taking a step back a little bit.
Yeah.
But see, I think it's fun. I mean, you know, leeway, right? But I think it's fun because it's a challenge, right? Like your players they got to earn it. They got to earn it if they want to live at the end of the campaign.
Yes. Well, I do usually bring them close to death. That's usually how I do it.
Love it.
But I try not to kill characters anymore because that's
right.
Yeah.
Well, trying and then it happening within the game and happening natural are very different, right?
Yes.
And there is that kind of give and take. JLP said in chat that she would sell her soul for more nat 20s. What about disadvantages and nat 1s, Jess? I'm curious what you would sell for that, out of curiosity. Okay, some lightning ones. Mountains or beach?
Beach.
Favorite season?
Fall.
Okay. Dance or sing?
Sing. I'm a terrible dancer.
Play D&D on a stream or play D&D in person?
Oh. Well, see, I like playing in person, but also playing online allows you to meet a lot more people. So I really like that aspect. I prefer the feeling of playing in person more. But I like to meet a lot of people.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think this kind of, you know, silver lining to everything, right? Like this does allow it to be easier to talk, to engage, to connect, to come together. I mean, heck, I would have never gotten a chance to meet you or talk to you if it was just in person. You being all the way over there and me being over here, right? Like,
right.
So it's a good silver lining. Okay, interesting. Online or in person shopping?
In person, for sure.
Really?
I can't make up my mind online.
How is it different in person? Just
because I can actually like see the things, and like I know what I like.
Okay, that kind of makes it easier too.
Yes.
Okay. As a player, one shot or campaign?
Campaign.
Okay, so you haven't DM'd a campaign, but you've been a player in a campaign.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody a little bit about your favorite D&D character that you have played, or a character you got super attached to?
There are two specifically that I can think of. One's name is Osiris, and I started playing her when I was playing at my old home game shop. And she is a tiefling sorcerer, wild magic sorcerer.
Oh.
And one of my friends from also the home store played the character's best friend, who was a lizard folk who liked to lick everything. And my character, it was supposed to be like the lizard folk's handler, but she instead, after they went to the Underdark, and she kept the 3 levels of madness that she got in the Underdark, she became the enabler. And she was just a lot of fun to play. My other one that I'm playing currently, her name is Warscreet, and she is an Aarakocra who is obsessed with candy. And yeah, she's a shadow monk. And she's been told that the way that you make friends or say hi to friends is that you push them over. So every time she meets a new person, she goes up and pushes them over.
Shoves them? I love it. Okay. Favorite, if any, if it's your thing or your game's habit, favorite alignment to play?
That's, well, I don't. I do not like to play lawful good because that doesn't allow me to do usually what I want to do. I usually go for like chaotic good or neutral evil.
Welcome to Team Force of Evil, Fenway. It's really nice to have you any day, anytime. Can you tell everybody briefly about how you paint minis? And I'm gonna do it. I know you guys boot it, but I don't care. I want, out of curiosity, you guys to guess how many minis she has behind her, because it's fun. I don't care. And while they guess, I want you to tell us a little bit about, like, yeah, your how much you love to paint minis. I know.
I mean, I do enjoy painting minis. I don't have a ton of time to paint minis, but it is something that I enjoy. I don't know. I used to just do it when I was at conventions, because they would always have like the panels on how to paint minis, or you could go in there and buy like the minis, and people would show you how to do it. But ever since, COVID, I've been just kind of doing it at home.
Okay. All y'all are definitely off by a lot. Tell them how many minis are behind you right now.
Just over 2,000.
How insane was that? I loved how Unicharge said 5,000, 500,000. Like 500,000.
Yes, that is perfect. Perfect.
I love it. I'm curious. What is your favorite hobby besides D&D?
Wait, we're supposed to have hobbies besides D&D?
I don't. Is that a thing?
I mean, yes.
I've heard about it.
I don't know. I really like to write, which I guess kind of comes with writing adventures, but
segue that right into D&D.
Definitely. But I also really like to write poems and stories, that sort of thing. I also really enjoy reading.
Favorite book?
It's a series called The Unwanteds.
That sounds sad.
It's actually not really that sad.
Maybe I'll have to look it up. I like reading a lot. Okay, so D&D, really you would say D&D is your biggest hobby / passion.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Do you play other board games?
I play a lot of board games. My family has an entire, so the bottom shelves over on that bookshelf over there are filled with
the 2,000 minis.
Yes. So over there's more.
Oh, beautiful.
And then the bottom shelves are all board games. And then we have a closet upstairs full of board games.
I love it. I'm going to invite myself over to play with you guys one day. It's going to happen. And when the world is safe, I'm just going to invite myself over. It's fun. Okay. So anything else that you want to tell about Jasper's streaming game, like any of the upcoming events you want to talk about that you haven't mentioned already? I know that there's like gear and stuff, if you want to talk about that a little bit, and then I will... Sure.
Yeah, I can. So 2 things that I kind of wanted to talk about. First is we are we're already planning our May stream event. It's going to be, I say May, but it starts April 30th. So the first 2 days are going to be on D&D Beyond. And then it's from May 2nd to May 7th is going to be on a channel called MTD, or Mini Terrain Domain. And then in the mornings, we're going to have games on our Ambassadors channel. And then on the 8th, we are going to have a game on Paizo's channel. So we're super excited about that.
You have a lot coming up.
Yeah, we're getting as many people involved in that event as possible. And then, I can talk about the merch for sure. So we have on what's called So Nerdwear. We have all of our shirts. So we have 3 different cuts of shirts and a sweatshirt, all of which come in 4 different colors. And that's teal, gray, black, and maroon. And then we also have so all of this is linked on our website. We also we have dice boxes and DM screens made by Talon and Claw. And then we have our pins that we had made.
fun stuff. Yeah, so we will link the description for their shop and everything below. So I wanted to also talk about how I know it's a sad but beautiful charity, and I do want to say that I think suicide awareness is so important, and the more we're talking about it, the more it's coming up, the better it is, because it's a serious issue that we all should be more aware of, and really understand the impact that it's having on a lot of people. And it's sad, but it's true. The holidays are actually it's not such a festive time for a lot of people, and so therefore I think it's super super important, like Fenway, leading by example. It's so important that we each and every one of us do our part to pay it forward, do something good, bring some joy and cheer into the world, however that may be. So with that being said, our one and only Corbin Played has decided to do something really awesome for the holiday season, and that is if we're going to post details on the Discord, but from here on out for the holiday season, every time someone does a pay it forward action, donates to charity, for example, does a kind act, and that could be, donating directly to Jasper's Game, he's going to match whatever is donated to this charity or any other charity, but he's going to match it and donate it specifically to Jasper's Game. And for those, where we all don't have money, it's a thing, and that's fine, but paying it forward in any way you can. So on the Discord, we're going to have a place for you to talk about ways that you've helped, places you've donated. Just tell your stories of something you've done that's really kind, and then for every good act and kind story that is shared, he's going to donate $20 to Jasper's Game. And it's going to be super awesome, and he's amazing, and he's just awesome. And again, we really, really support your charity, and you'll see us in a lot of your future games, usually, hopefully, in the form of disadvantages. But it's really all done in love. I know the Dungeon Run community, I think we've shown by the last couple of your streams, we love, love, love your work. We love everything that you do. We love the cause. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's such a great thing for us all to get together and share. And it's just a reminder that, there is good and kindness in the world, and it is continually spreading. And it just makes me happy. It really does. So thank you, Fenway, so much for joining us today and telling us all about the charity. And like I said, I'll link all of the stuff on the Discord, and Gordon Play will announce further all of the charity donating and all that stuff too. So thank you again for being festive and hanging out, and you were truly awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. It was a blast, and I am so honored to have been asked.
Of course, you seriously do such amazing work. You are an inspiration, and I'm not just saying that. This community can tell you I do not say anything I do not mean. You're an inspiration, and you really just make me, and I'm sure a lot of others, really just want to do a little bit more. You're such an amazing person, and I'm sure we will keep in touch. I'm pretty confident of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you everyone who's watching.
Oh yeah, and it's going on YouTube, and people love you. And thank you for all the balloons for Fenway throughout the stream. You guys are amazing. I did want to end the show with, we have a little song that we're going to end it on, but I do want to bring Renee back real quick for us to...
She's fabulous.
She's so fabulous.
I know, I just love her.
I love her too. I really do. I'm in such a good mood right now.
I know. I was watching and I was like, yay, this is great.
I know. I'm giddy with happiness right now.
Yeah.
But we kind of wanted to end. This is technically the last watch party of the year. We are going to have a special nostalgia wrapping up the year special watch party on December 29th. Details pending. I'm planning on doing a lot of fun things for that stream. I know Renee has a lot of ideas that we're going to do for that stream. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to post, hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, a survey that kind of just sums up questions about the year and your guys' thoughts. It's going to be fun.
Please do it. Just fill it out.
Yeah. Just do it. But I wanted us to end this year with the holiday cheer, as always. So we're going to quickly tell everybody what we
Yes.
got for the heroes, because I don't know why, but you guys continually ask
You want to know.
That was the biggest thing. Like, why don't you talk about what you're going to give them? It was like, okay.
All right.
So we got together to give them gifts.
Yes, we did.
Chef Scott says, well, we want to know. Well, here you go.
Here you go.
Renee, you have the list. So start
I do.
off.
It's pinned to our little channel. So, James, for you, my good man, we got you this Librarian to Medium in 5 Simple Steps book, because you obviously are super close because you talk to the dead all the time. So you might as well just take the leap, buddy.
You seem to be really, really into talking to the dead. It seems to be a hobby of yours at this point. So we thought, why not show everybody your changing career? We're going to help you out. We got you.
So we found that book, and so here you go. And also, if you look down in your bag, we dropped a couple of throat lozenges in there, because you never know the next time you'll have a gnome.
A gnome just
coming in there.
Right on there. Yeah, if you shake it a little, you have some gnomes. You have some
lozenges in there.
Right on in there.
It'll help with the gnome.
For Uggo, we know that it is super, super, super important, and he's doing an amazing job with his Orctionary, learning English, learning how to read and write. He's doing awesome. So we thought, what better gift to get him than Hooked on Phonics?
Yeah.
That way.
Help him become more independent.
More independent. He doesn't need people to help him read, right? He can pull out his Hooked on Phonics while reading a note from the Ashen Mage. It's great. And
it's great.
If you shake your bag, Uggo, if you shake it a little bit, we gave you a solar candle.
Yeah.
We know you talked about the other day you were struggling to light it when Fahima's not around. So in case she ever gets kidnapped and you don't have any source of fire, we got you too.
No more wax dripping down. You got it. Solar candle. Speaking of Fahima, we got you a spoon, and upon further inspection, you have absolutely no doubt that it is a pretty spoon. Also, go ahead.
I was gonna say it has a little jewel on the back of the spoon. It's undoubtedly a very pretty spoon.
Also, in the bottom of your bag, it's gonna be kind of awkward at this point because.
Yeah, that's right. We already wrapped it. Tell her what's in her gift.
It is a squeaky toy to call your. Well,
we saw it's like your guys' pet thing to whistle at your girlfriend.
She came, so we thought squeaky toy would speed that up, but now it's just kind of.
No, awkward. It's not. Hashtag team Zanelka and Fahima.
Right.
Who have we not said? Talk about who do we have? Lily. Tell us Lily's gift. Go.
Lily, we got you the always popular Handle with Care Knick-Knack of Doom. We know how much you love dinner and eating and food, so we thought the next time you were way into, you got way into those unseen servants / sous chefs, you could just go ahead and touch that guy and zoom away and watch other people eat dinner. It's favorite time of the day. So go ahead and pop on over and see how they do things around the world divine. And also, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you really shake it and dump out your Vox, we don't know how many times Fahima's going to, fib a little, how much she's going to get anxious when she gets nervous. We don't know, but you seem to be around her a lot lately when she's, farting and lighting stuff on fire. So just in case, just to be safe, we got you a little thing of aloe to go at the bottom of your gift.
For those unwarranted Fahima fart burns. So there you go. So Civ, dude, for you, we had a hard time. So we really, really thought about this. And here's what we got for you, man. They always say that cats land on, and on their feet. But, it's been proven many times over that you don't. So for you, we got you a parachute for those times where maybe your friends don't quite keep their concentration, or you're falling from
off
a lodestar. You can just pull that ripcord and there you go, buddy, right on your feet.
But we know we're lucky on bad days for you. Yep. And if you shake your gift, I'm sorry, Sid. Your gift must have accidentally fallen out into the bag of holding. You're gonna have to, maybe when you get Vic out, you can take care of that. But we did want to leave you a little note, Civ. That emotional baggage, right?
It's just not always have to be physical. It could just be everybody carries some emotional baggage.
But it's a metaphor.
Doesn't mean it doesn't mean it has to be physical.
It's a metaphor, Jared.
Just so you know. Also, one last gift is for Jeff. We got you some brand new dice.
Weighted dice, so it's nat 20s on all sides.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Force of Evil.
Help you out. And there you have it.
That's our gifts. I don't know if you guys could have given better gifts because ours were pretty, on point.
Yeah.
Gable says, I just realized that FailWaffle always has a different mug with her. Why, yes, I do. This happens to be my holiday version.
This is my holiday mug, too. It's got green in it.
I have a mug obsession problem. And on that note, we thought it would be also fun and festive to end it. We may have sung you guys a holiday cheer song in the name of holidays and getting in the spirit and whatever you're doing this holiday, don't forget to celebrate. And 'tis the season.
It
so
is.
Thank you for joining us on this, I thought, eventful party. You guys are amazing. Thank you. And yesterday, your mug is adorable. I'm super excited, like I said, with my predictions tomorrow. I'm hoping that the show is going to go out with a bang. Maybe we'll get another secret room from Jeff with just this audience. We'll see. I don't know.
Also, enjoy the song.
Be kind to each other. Enjoy our song. And until the 29th, or aka tomorrow, humankind, guys.
Be both.
And now, join the watch party as we treat you to that timeless classic, The 12 Days of Aiinsmas.
1, 2, 3, 4. On the 12 days of Aiinsmas, the potato queen sent to me 12 unseen servants,
11 pine rebel pines,
10 crustacean hammers,
9 funky librarians,
8 poems of prose,
7 successful sendings,
6 stumble-stuck siblings, 5 firecracker shots,
4 a chai running,
3 ancestral guardians,
2 minstrels singing,
and a baby meep in an eggshell.
Merry Aiinsmas!